Shalom Mishpacha, welcome fam. Welcome back to A Small Sanctuary with Rabbi Esther, and we are going to cook up a storm. First on the menu is this Iraqi beet soup. I made it without the kuba this time to save myself some time because I really like the broth itself and it worked out great. The only thing you need to be mindful of is that if you do make it without the kuba, you should definitely add a hearty stock. So I used some Manischewitz chicken stock in order to compensate for the lack of meat in the soup. So first of all, I'm just chopping my vegetables. This is a little bit of a chore, but it's not too bad. The biggest step is peeling the uncooked beets, which goes a lot easier if they are in fact uncooked, and combining all the spices together in the specific spice mix baharat, which is a Middle Eastern spice mix. So you'll see me chopping along happily. Yes, of course, this stains your hands. It's okay. It comes out with an acid, like a little bit of lemon juice. It's not a big problem. What I like about this soup is that it's actually a pretty clear broth. You don't puree the beets, which I'm used to doing when I make an Ashkenazi soup, like a borscht, for instance. But you don't do that here, and the beet pieces remain intact, and it just renders this very beautiful jewel-toned, pretty clear broth, which is very light and delicate, and I really love it. So I recommend you do that too. Of course, this broth is also easy to make vegetarian. You just need a vegetarian stock base. You can make your own or use a prepackaged one, but I decided to make it based on the Manischewitz chicken broth. So here I am, chopping happily away. Follow along. Here I am making the baharat mix. Adeena Sussman has a recipe at the beginning of her cookbook on how to compose your own mix, but you can get it store-bought as well. It is basically a lot of warming spices in particular ratios, like cinnamon and clove and allspice and things like that, and it is very delicious and gives the soup its unique flavor. These spices are also anti-inflammatory in character, and I would say that this soup is a pretty healthy soup, especially if you do make a homemade chicken or vegetarian broth. And here we are preparing that broth. I had that left over from Pesach, and all you need to do is pour the broth into the container and add it to the soup, and then your soup can simmer away and it's pretty much done. Next up is this carrot salad. I've made this before, but it's great because it keeps for a long time, especially if you keep the fresh herbs apart. It is tangy, refreshing, and a tiny bit sweet because of the dates that you add and a little bit of honey. You do need to peel the carrots. Here I did not bother peeling the carrots for the soup. Who cares? They're going into the soup. Nobody cares. Nobody notices. But here you do want to make sure to peel and slice and dice all of your carrots, and then basically do the same thing with the other ingredients, and then make the dressing, which contains lemon juice and chopped up dates and a little bit of honey and a little bit of a hot agent like sriracha or another hot pepper-based sauce. The lemon rind adds a little extra something, so I highly recommend grating that into it. And it's pretty simple and refreshing and delicious, and it will keep very nice in the fridge, especially if you make sure to not boil the carrots to a pulp. Keep them a little bit al dente so that they have their bite, and it is a wonderful salad. Here is the dressing, the olive oil, the lemon juice, the dates, and the other things combined. Just mixing it in, and make sure you leave enough time for it really to absorb all of those flavors. So don't do this right before serving the salad. Give it a few hours. Chopping in my herbs. They can be any kind of herbs. Cilantro, parsley, mint. I do love the cilantro and mint combination. It is very refreshing. I am plating it now, and now it is done. Enjoy. If you are a regular to this channel, you've seen me make challah loads of times, but if you're new, well, welcome, and you're going to learn how to make challah 3 ways. A 3-braided strand, a 4-braided strand, which I'm doing right now, and a round challah for for Rosh haShanah. I'm not going to give you a tutorial. There are tutorials on my channel. Check out the playlist for those, but you can just see some snippets on how I put these challahs together, and they are real easy hacks. So I encourage you to experiment with braiding techniques that work well for you and that feel intuitive to you. These are ready to rise and pop into the oven for delicious challah. This chicken curry was so good. Baghdadi chicken curry. I won't say it's an easy recipe. It is a little bit labor intensive because of the way you need to chop the onions very fine. You can totally use a food processor like I'm doing here, but then they need to be drained from all of its liquids. Seasoning the chicken is pretty straightforward. Add in loads of garlic and then a good quality curry powder. I happen to have a nice spicy curry powder on hand, so I use that. And then the secret really is this tomato paste, which adds such depth and sweetness to the sauce. You basically cook the sauce down first on its own and then with the paste. Now we're going to make our jeweled rice. It's really important to wash and rinse your rice and fry up the cashews and chop all of your ingredients. You're going to add a little turmeric to the rice to give it that beautiful yellow color, and it's the crunchiness of the nuts with the sweetness of the fruit and the aromatics through the bay leaf and the cumin seeds that really gives this rice something very special. It is not as much work as you think, and the results are really spectacular. So don't serve this dish with plain rice. Go out of your way to make this rice. And last but not least, our green chutney. So this is basically parsley and cilantro and a little hot pepper and lemon juice and some other things thrown together for a lovely dipping sauce that you can drizzle over your curry, and it creates a great contrast with the very kind of intense flavors of the curries to have something that is really clear and clean on your palate. So this was very easy to make and very fun, and it keeps a little while in the fridge if you seal it up good. So I had fun putting that together as well. And that is our Baghdadi chicken curry with jeweled rice and green chutney. Get ready to plate your rice up like this and scatter across it your nuts and your fruit and of course your fresh chives or spring onions, as is your preference. And that pop of green just makes a lovely contrast. This rice was absolutely delicious. I highly recommend. And now dinner is served. So let's make Shabbat and welcome the Sabbath bride, make Kiddush with our friends on this beautiful summer night. Enjoy, and I hope this brought you some Shabbat and High Holiday inspiration for your own cooking. Thank you for watching and following along, and there will be some more cooking videos in the pipeline. With peace and blessings from my bite to your bite. Bye!